the actor who becomes very emotional when talking about the character he plays is Kelsey Grammer. They're getting ready to re-release Frasier, a reboot of Frasier, after he's played the character for more than 20 years. First on Cheers, then on the show Frasier. Now they're bringing it back to Paramount Plus. He's 68 now. He's moved back from Seattle to Boston, the character has. And his son has grown up. And that's sort of it's the relationship now between himself and his son. And a few of the characters from the show Frasier will make appearances on different episodes.
Is he still in radio?
I don't think so.
I think he's podcasting.
I think he might be. Maybe. I haven't even seen any reference to any of that.
Because he has a degree. Obviously, he can be he can be an advice guy.
On Cheers, he was just a psychologist. Then he went to Seattle in the show Frasier and did the radio advice. And now he's back in Boston. He may be retired. I mean, he's 68. Speaking of which, I have something to say about a dear friend who recently retired. But Kelsey Grammer was addressing the audience on the show Frasier, the in-studio audience for when they shot the new one. And he said he becomes very emotional when talking about the character.
Our love for this character is very sweet. I always do this.
So the crowd give him cheers. Biggie sees me do that after almost every show. I sit and cry. I cry a lot.
Oh yeah, but it's a different.
I look back
not out of love.
Not out of
No,
love. It's usually a review of my own performance.
Self-loathing.
I look back and I cry. You know how often I
can't do this.
At the end of
What am I
this
doing?
show every day, I look back on it. Biggie sits here with. That's why we're brothers. We're best friends. And by the end of it, I'm weeping a lot, like Kelsey Grammer was there in front of that crowd. And he said, I guess it's just because he feels so much for this character. He's played it for such a long time.
It's been such an incredible journey to think that, 20 some odd years later, we could do Frasier. And what's shocking is he's just as fresh and alive as any regular human being would be. And I was used to say to people, they'd say, how can you play the same character for so long? Well, it's as interesting as life itself.
That's right. It's such a sweet relationship between the two of them. Kelsey Grammer and Frasier.
I do feel like of the shows that have been rebooted, that one is one of the easier ones to reboot.
Why?
Because I feel like you can pick up 20 years later with an adult son and see exactly where their life is now and have that relationship of father and son.
Because in Frasier, they had the relationship between his father and him. I think they did a good job with that because it was set in Boston, of course, when he was on Cheers. And then I remember him saying at the time when they started Frasier, the spinoff, that he wanted it as far from Boston as they could make it with a whole new cast of characters. And that's what they did. They moved him to Seattle. And now it's because they didn't want the temptation of having the characters from Cheers just stop by. They had them once in a while. They'd be on and it'd be a special event. Now he goes back to Boston, so it's away from all those characters. You know, and he's back. I agree with you. I think it's a good plot device to take him back.
The same thing with I thought when they rebooted Roseanne, now the Connors, that was going to be okay because there was enough storylines there.
Well, it's worked even without her. I mean, it's still on.
I don't know anyone that watches it, but it's going. It's 6 seasons in.
Yes, and even Roseanne left it, which is like as soon as that happened, it's like how can that go on without her? They just kept on going with. When you've got John Goodman, who's a huge name. I agree. I don't know anybody that watches it either, but they picked it right up. They're considering a reboot of Blossom. Now that she has grown up. I never watched Blossom in the first place.
I did. I don't feel as much. I don't know. I don't feel as much attached to that one that it's like.
That is Mayim Bialik, and she said she'd be on board.
Yeah, I just don't care for her either.
They're talking about redoing
I didn't hear you guys give this much love to the Mad About You reboot that has come and gone.
I didn't watch Mad About You.
I don't think anyone.
I did not watch Mad About You.
No, and that one to me is a little bit harder to reboot because then they split up on the show and this kind of thing and get back together at one point.
At one point, they had some marital issues and got back together.
I didn't think they divorced.
They didn't. They just had some issues. And they got back together.
See, I don't think that needs an update.
Well, maybe you're right, but Blossom sure does. Last we saw Blossom, she was having her Menzies for the first time. That was a very special Blossom. Blossom gets her Menzies.
Cancel it,
and then they canceled it. That was it. As soon as that happened, she was done. Here's what this is about: retirement. Now, yesterday, right before garbage time, I was telling this. Now, I had been playing pickleball with my friend the Diesel, and we have another mutual friend. I won't name him. Now, I'll say this. This guy, who's a mutual friend of ours, is exactly my age. He's three weeks older than me. Okay, so Diesel says, as we're getting in the car, his name comes up for whatever reason, and Diesel says, "Have you talked to him lately?" And I said,
"Have you talked to X?"
Have I talked to X? And I said, "A little. We just kind of text each other about sports or something like that." And I said, "Not really. Not in a month." And he says, "Well, you should call him."
Oh, no.
Of course. So I said, "Why? What's going on?" And Diesel says, "It's not my place to say."
Dread.
Of course.
Your mind races there. You go to all the bad places.
Yeah.
Naturally. And I said, "Oh, no." Exactly. He goes, "Don't worry. It's good news." And I said, "What?" And I said, "Well, then what is it?" And Diesel said, "It's not my place to say." And then he gets
you need to hear it from his lips.
Correct. And then he gets his car and drives off. So yesterday, I text him and I say, "Diesel says you got something going on. What's going on?" I thought his wife was probably pregnant, but I don't think that's possible.
At this advanced age?
I don't think that's possible. So I said, in fact, I said to the Diesel, "Is his wife pregnant?" And he almost doubled over. God, no. So our friend, Mr. X, writes back and said, "Yeah, I officially retired 2 weeks ago from my job." Now, he's exactly my age. And he and I used to have a pact. We would, yes.
A pact?
Yes. We were going to move off to the beach together when we got into our 60, like 65.
You and Mr. X.
Oh, and live your truth?
And live our truth. At age 65, we were going
with your wives.
Move off to our beach together with our wives. And and live in separate houses. And I said, and he goes, "I'm retired." And I looked at my phone and I said, "This got to be a joke. We have a pact." And I wrote him back and said, "What about the pact?" And he goes, "Sorry, bro. Moved up the timeline."
A, we have a pact. B, how old are you?
What's going on? He's exactly my age. I said, "I can't retire. I'm not going to retire for a long, long time." And he said, "Yeah, I lined up the numbers and it worked out." He goes, "You want to get together for lunch? I can tell you all about it." I said, "Well, you got time, don't you, to get together for lunch?" It was one of those immediate bitterness. I was already bitter after,
You going to take a dump all over his joy?
Trying to. I did the best I could even yesterday.
I don't think you can.
After what he said. He said the last 2 weeks have been marvelous. Of course I come back with, "You're going to get bored." And he writes back, he's like, "I'm not." He goes, I said, "Well, I'm available on Friday." And he goes, "I'm playing golf all day. I'm playing 36 holes of golf." 36 holes. I said, "You can't break for lunch because I'm doing 36.
There's nothing you can say to him.
No.
In any point during the lunch either.
No.
Because when he leaves, he can be like, "Have fun getting up tomorrow."
Yeah.
Enjoy your alarm.
Yeah. That's right.
I ran over my alarm with my car.
That's a pretty.
I haven't set an alarm in a month.
That's an early retirement.
That is a very early retirement.
I mean, part of me is thrilled for him. Another
Did
part
he win Mega Millions and is slowly telling his friends?
I don't think so. He said, "I'll explain it to you at lunch."
Maybe he invested well.
He must have. I don't know
Did
what.
he ride the crypto wave perfectly?
Maybe.
He threaded that needle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very few people did.
I don't know. Yeah, that was that Matt Damon thing.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Have some.
Don't be a puss. Put your money in crypto.
Put your balls out there.
Yeah.
Then everybody lost all their shirt on it,
But I'll tell you, one of my best friends in the world, I think he'll retire early.
Yeah.
Because since he always had the vision, when we were 20 years old, he was like, "I'm saving. I'm buying property."
Yes.
I mean, he bought his first house, when he was 21, 22. And he's just always had this vision. And he used to say, "Give me your money. We'll both be all right." And I should have.
Yeah.
And I picture him. He's on that path too.
Has your friend Biggie made questionable decisions in love?
No.
No,
he never has.
Throw you back.
That's right.
Yeah, he's married to his high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
He has always been, but he's brilliant.
A divorce will kill it.
That'll knock you back.
It'll kill you. Oh, I had a money guy lean over my shoulder once, looking at my 401k. He goes, "How much do you love your wife?" I said, "Oh, I love my wife." He goes, "That's good.
It's good.
Keep her." He said, "Keep her," because he said, "Tell you what, you get divorced, slice that in half or more." And I was like, "Oh, I'm in love with my wife." And he said, "I can tell you from experience." That'll knock you back. And so forget about it unless you want to get divorced. I said, "I don't want to.
I love money more."
I said, "I don't want to get divorced." And he said, "If you get divorced, take that and divide it by 2.
Yeah, hear about that guy that jumped off that bridge? My client. What? Yeah, going through a divorce.
It was that kind of thing.
He was going to retire early.
He warned me. He warned me.
So does this mean, Kelly, that your friend Mr. X, is his wife leaving her job, retiring?
No, she still works.
Dream.
And he's...
He really is alone all day.
He even said she gets great benefits, so I don't have to worry about insurance for a while.
But I know there are. I mean, you can't collect certain things and you can't get certain medical aid, right, until you reach a certain age.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's like if you look at retirement, it's like, but until you're 65, you can't.
Unless your nest egg is sizable enough.
Yeah, that's right.
Sounds like his might be.
Well, but
he's not going to rely on Medicare.
But he relies on his wife, who still works and has great benefits.
Yeah.
He's
on her insurance.
He told me that. He's like, she's still working, and so I don't have to worry about that, at least while she works, and she doesn't want to retire yet.
Mm-hmm.
And what Biggie just said came to my mind. Dream. What a dream come true.
You know what song's playing in his head?
The Muppet song?
Nah.
Oh, yeah, all right. That's your song, too. That's right. That's all he does every day. He gets
what do I do today?
Doesn't matter.
There is nothing you can do to that man to get him down.
I keep trying to take a dump on it. I said you'll get bored. I'm not bored. I feel great. I'm playing 36 holes.
We may have
exactly.
We may talk about this guy when he sets the record for most rounds of golf played in one day.
Correct. Yeah. It's just joy.
And even if he gets bored, you know what he gets to go be? The happy guy at the job. Right. He could go pick up a part-time job and be the happy one that drives everybody crazy.
And when he gets tired of the job, he can do what?
Just quit.
Quit.
Yeah.
I quit. That's
I'm going to need you to work on Saturday. I quit.
I don't think so. I won't be here Saturday or Monday. Or
I don't even need to be here now.
Exactly. So we're going to lunch in the next 2 weeks, and I will do everything I can to dump on his happiness. But this may be a job too big even for me.
That's going to be a challenge for you.
Listen, I can dump on everything. You know that more than anyone, Biggie.
Proving it.
I can.
It's in your LinkedIn profile.
Are you happy? Yeah. Give him 5. He'll take you down a notch.
Come in, take a seat. Yeah. Close the door. I'll be done in 5 minutes.
Yeah. What a great job for someone to take a crap on everybody else.
Yeah.
We have a really good business going here. Can someone come and take a crap all over it? I will.
I will.
There's too much, what's the word? Joy in the workplace. Who can destroy that?
I will.
Are you having fun? I am. Give him 5.
I'll take care of that.
You're sort of like William H. Macy, the cooler.
The cooler. Put me in the boardroom. Put me in front of everybody. I will take a steaming dump on whatever joy you have.
Want your stocks to nosedive? I'm your man.
I'm the man. Want to go out of business? I'll take care of you. I'll do it. Remember what I did to that ice cream?
Oh, yeah.
They tried to advertise with me. They had to turn the plane around mid-flight. I was such a bother. They immediately got salmonella in their ice machines. In the machines. Remember that?
Which machine? All of them.
All of them. I just took a dump on your business. How do you like that? That's the power I have. Well, I'll do the best I can, but I can't have lunch with him yet. He's too busy on the beach and on the golf course. So when I get time.
Lunching at the club?
When I get time. No, I want to drag him out of there. I want to put him at some hardened place that he doesn't like and take him down a notch.